Tibet, the closest place to heaven. A plateau with impeccable, tranquil sceneries, unique geological environment and climate, and the most unique lifestyle and culinary culture. Tibetan flavors are more than just pleasures on the palate. Brewed in the quest for survival and faith, these flavors carry the unique taste of Tibetan culture. Beyond these Tibetan barley fields is the home of Ridden Wamo. Her hometown is the Dronnong County of Shannan. This time, besides visiting the family, Ridden is also looking to source some local produce for her restaurant in Lhasa. It is said that our taste hardly ever changes once it is developed. Rinda Wangmo knows this too well. However far away she's from home, she still craves the flavors of the fresh produce from home. Tibet is a high-altitude region with thin atmosphere, drastic temperature fluctuations, and punishingly cold winter. The extreme geological conditions limit the variety of farm crop in Tibet. Any produce from this soil is a precious bequeath from nature. These fresh potatoes and wild fennel are by no means rare ingredients. But in the eyes of Rindan Wangmo, they carry the most authentic, genuine hometown flavors. She's taking these flavors back to her Lhasa restaurant for more people to enjoy. Some Tibetan dishes are appealing only after a sophisticated cooking process, while others are famous for the rarity of ingredients. It's early in the morning. The couple Dosandawa, Hertzakili, and their friend Tsatsang are going to the mountains in search of Matsutake. Matsutake, a rare wild mushroom, is only found in the forest above 3,500 meters in cold temperate zone. It contains the anti-cancer element matsutake. Hence, it is also esteemed for its medicinal value. Matsutake gives off a unique scent. Its texture is as smooth as firm as abalone. Is known in Japan as the divine mushroom, the true nobility of mushrooms. Back in the home kitchen, freshly picked matsutake is rinsed, pan-fried with yak butter, and ready to be served. The locals cook in simplistic ways. It is perhaps by coincidence that the divine flavor was made. The culinary magic doesn't necessarily entail exquisite cooking. Sometimes the trick is in the original ingredient. When the farmers are toiling for autumn harvest, the pastoralists are busy moving their herds. Dangxiong is a well-known pasture in Tibet, with ample supply of water and grass. This beautiful landscape supports large herds of yak and sheep, the nature's gift to the hardworking people. Lobsang Dorji and his family arrived at the pasture today. At every change of season, the pastoralists must travel long distances with their herds to a new pasture. This is an age-old custom and a way to live in harmony with nature. Moving the herds is a cumbersome and exhausting job, but it helps to keep that delicate balance for the man, the land, the vegetation, and the livestock. The temperature drops sharply in the evening. The newly arrived must set up tents as soon as possible. Helpers are readily available because it is a neighborly obligation to help each other out. With great dexterity, Lobsang Dorji and his friends pin down the wooden bases, set up the tent, and start moving stuff. His wife Samten Dolma brings a bucket to milk the yak. Compared to milk from the common cows, yak milk is higher in calorie and contains additional trace elements and minerals. It is a major nutritional source for Tibetan pastoral families. Yak milk is also used to make butter tea. In the eyes of many, butter tea, like samba, is representative of Tibetan culture. In the pastoral area, butter tea is a necessity and a routine offering to guests. Tea leaves are being boiled in milk. Samten Dolma starts to prepare yak butter. This premium grease made from fresh milk plays a crucial role in Tibetan culinary culture. Whether in staple food, dessert, or beverage, yak butter is an indispensable ingredient. The traditional pastoral diet is rich in meat and dairy products. Tea polyphenols helps people to digest the protein properly. Besides, tea leaves provide enough vitamins to prevent malnutrition resulted from a protein-rich diet. Pastoralists consider butter tea a precious gift from nature. Putting yak butter into the bucket, add salt, milk, and milk tea. Pound with a wooden rod. The pounding is seen as a ritual, as it is akin to a praying posture. They know that continuous pounding and mixing is the only way to bring out the best of delicious butter tea. Hard work and focus are the prerequisites for gourmet food and happiness. Samten Dolma gathers everyone in the tent and serves the freshly made butter tea. These herdsmen sit together, drink tea, and have a nice chat. Better than anyone else, they know the power of nature and the value of mutual aid and gratitude. That's why they can enjoy nature's gift and continue their happy lives. In Lhasa, Rindan Wanmo's restaurant is quite popular.
Welcome. Table for how many?
Table for two.
This way, please.
Rindan Wanmo used to work in tourism. During her visits to other parts of China, she found that butter tea, Tibetan noodles, and samba are the only widely known Tibetan foods. She wanted to enrich the menu of Tibetan cuisine and present more facets of Tibetan culture to everyone. Spices are a typical part of Tibetan flavors. In the meat-rich diet, spices help to remove the unpleasant odor of meat and add to the flavors.
This is wild fennel, air-dried. When dried enough, it is grounded into powder and later mixed with chili powder. This is wild mint, fresh wild mint. It looks like this after it is air-dried. This is wild mint powder. They are added to chili powder in barbecue and other Tibetan food, such as sausages. This is wild scallion, air-dried and grounded into powder. It goes well with potatoes and noodles. This is also great. It's air-dried. We only use fresh ones. Chopped it up and mix it with chili powder. Yes, we only use fresh ones. Chop it up and mix it with chili powder. We source chili from Chengdu, Ningqi, and Nan County. Yes, Chengdu, Ningqi. Places famous for chili, not just in Tibet, but also at home and abroad. People love it, so we keep using it.
Tibet is home to a myriad of wild spices. In its culinary tradition, spices are the most noticeable ingredients. Wild scallions, fennel, mint, and chives are uniquely Tibetan spices. These special grass seeds and tree leaves have fantastic chemical reactions with meat and bring out the best texture and flavor out of the dish.
All these spices come together to make the chili sauce of Lamu restaurant. It goes well with stuffed buns, sausages, tartar,
and Tibet hot pot. Yes, Tibetan hot pot.
Everyone loves it. With this chili sauce, we can easily finish a whole sheep and a whole bag of tamba. Yes, a whole sheep and a whole bag of tamba.
Quark cake is a special Tibetan snack made of fried Tibetan barley flour, yak butter, and quark. The dough is worked with bare hands repeatedly. Quark tastes sour and is good for digestion. Yak butter is rich in calorie and adds to the texture. Thrown in a pinch of brown sugar and roll the dough into a cuboid. Press some yak butter on the surface and sprinkle some quark on it. Voila! A flavorsome dish is made. Compared to sampa, quark cake is more tender and contains more calories and nutrients. It is considered a good refreshment to treat the guests. The restaurant opened in 2006. Rudan Wanmo and her husband worked very hard together. Today, the restaurant serves over 100 Tibetan dishes. While promoting and renewing Tibetan cuisine, Rudan Wanmo hopes that with these delicious dishes, her customers could get to know the people, customs, and culture of Tibet. Dawa is delighted that Sonam is here to buy yaks. The days are getting colder. Winter, the slaughtering season, is around the corner. Dawa can fetch a good price for his yaks. Yaks live on the cold plateau 4,000 meters above sea level. They constitute the bulk of livestock in Tibet. On Tibetan pastures, the yaks feed on juicy grass as they roam freely among peaks. The herdsmen believe that yaks could not thrive in captivity. Free-ranging in the wilderness is the only way to get the most muscular yaks. Yak meat and milk are exceptionally nutritious, especially for people living at high elevation. Food made of yak meat and milk is very popular in Tibet. Relying on his years of experience, Sonam picked a strong yak. He must get this yak back to his slaughterhouse right away, because restaurants in Lhasa expect its delivery today. Nature's bounty enriches the people, and the people's gratitude and respect for nature enrich their faiths. This is particularly true about Tibet. Tibetans believe that they owe everything in life to the generosity of nature and the grace from heaven. They are willing to return their life's wealth to heaven and contribute to the sacred city, Lhasa, in prayer for transcendence. Every day, Lhasa receives tens of thousands of tourists and pilgrims. Pious visitors are here to worship the ancient culture and immerse themselves in the charm of Lhasa. Tutan Tsoring runs a Tibetan hot pot restaurant in the Bakar area. Once a local TV anchor, he knows too well the graceful appeal of Lhasa. At his restaurant, he aims to achieve finer taste in Tibetan cuisine. It is his hope that every diner could come to appreciate the refinement of Tibetan civilization through delicate cuisine. good ingredients are paramount in cooking. To serve for fine dining, Truten Tsering has to ensure the quality of ingredients. His choice of meat is the fresh yak from Damsung pasture supplied by Sonam.
Ah, here's the meat. Here you are. Hey, here. Is it good meat? It's good meat.
This fresh delivery will become today's main course, yak sashimi.
Yak sashimi will be served on this ice sculpture. Sculpting takes a rather long time, so we did it beforehand and stored it in the fridge. And then when we need it,
Yaks are free-ranging animals. They eat grass in the wild and move a lot. That's why yak meat is so tender. They also consume a lot of precious wild herbs like cordyceps and fritillaries, making yak meat tastier.
You have to try the purely organic yak meat from northern Tibet. In that area, all yaks are free-ranging because captive yaks can't survive there. So it tastes sublime even when it is eaten raw. This part on the hind leg is most tender, while other parts are not so easy to chew or digest. So we choose this piece of fresh, tender yak meat slaughtered before winter to make sashimi. It's nutritious and soft. Dip the sashimi slice into chili sauce and feel how it melts so readily in your mouth. Tibet is a vast land, and northern Tibet mainly does animal farming. In the past, when yak meat was frozen in winter, the herdsmen would sometimes taste the sliced, defrosted meat. This leads to the local habit of eating raw yak meat in the pastoral area. We just add some salt or Tibetan chili sauce, and then it's ready to eat.
In many cases, the simplest culinary method means trust and respect for the ingredients. Rather than overcooking, all we need is to slice against the grain, freeze them, and set the plate. Then it is ready for the table.
Yak sashimi.
Sitan's family are preparing dinner. The main course will be their homegrown Tibetan pig. Tibetan pigs are known as the highland treasure. These free-range pigs from the highland produce pork that is rich in amino acids and trace elements. Flaunting their signature long manes, they are renowned as the best homegrown breed. This fleshy and tasty pork is a famous traditional Tibetan food. Sitan's wife, Dokar, is roasting the finest pork slice and skinned on open fire. As the fat sizzles, the pork takes on a golden hue and gives off an enticing smell. Tibetan pig meat is neither too lean nor too fatty. Its premium quality registers both in the nose and on the palate. The heat has scorched away the surplus fat, leaving the thin skin crispy and chewy. Chopped and laid on the plate. On the side are homemade chili sauce and white bread. This is a simple but mouth-watering Tibetan home dinner. A simple meal is sometimes the most tempting because it most directly appeals to the desire for food. Today, Rindan Wamo's restaurant is hosting a birthday banquet for an elderly customer. Her husband, Sitan Panjor, is cooking a special dish for the birthday guest. Growing on the highland, ginseng fruit is a sweet, medicinal, and nutritious fruit. Its Tibetan name means living forever. Add ginseng fruit and raisins into rice and mix them with yak butter. This is ginseng fruit rice.
Ginseng fruit rice is a propitious dish. It's fixed on the menu of any Tibetan banquet, whether it is for religious celebrations, marriages, or house moving. It's a must-have.
The elderly diner apparently enjoys the rice, with a happy smile on the face. This makes the couple very happy. Spices add to the flavor of grilled meat. Cooked with a caring heart, food brings people warmth. For Rindan Wamo, the most important thing is to bring to the diners happiness and warmth that come along with authentic Tibetan meal. Tibetan hot pot is the signature dish in Tuten Tsuring's restaurant. Legend has it that it was introduced to Tibet by officials from central China, and then favored by the Tibetan nobility. They integrated the inclusive hot pot into their own culinary culture and gave birth to the unique Tibetan hot pot. Tibetan hot pot is special in that raw ingredients are not cooked one by one as in regular forms of hot pot, but rather are cooked all at the same time. The broth is made of yak bones that are produced locally. The broth is simmered for a long time, and any oil on the surface is removed to create a clear outlook. The broth is delicious, nutritious, and light. Special sauce, tender yak sashimi, delicious Tibetan hot pot. Artists are performing classical songs and dances that used to be the exclusive entertainment for the nobility. Their performances are occasionally interrupted by scripture chanting from Bakr streets. This is the Tibet that Tuten Tsuring wants to present. Farming and husbandry support the life in Tibetan Plateau. They rely on the deep forests and vast fields. To live life and enjoy food to the fullest, one has to value culture and happiness. In Tibet, food is simple. They bring nutrition and calories. The flavor is straightforward. To appreciate it requires no additional training. The sky and soil here is like a wise old man, chanting the scriptures, holding you in his embrace, pointing your eyes to beautiful things. This is Tibet. She's not trying to change you or impress you. She just wants you to be true to yourself and live a beautiful life. And that is all.